We're all about turning a crappy situation into something positive.
$250,000 of credit card debt.
Still remember the day when no one turned up.
Throw it in the garbage and start from scratch.
I could give myself a chance, so I started something.
I mean, I think that counts as from poop to gold.
Our sponsor for this episode is our 14-day video script challenge.
Yes, we are sponsoring our own show.
Yes, we are. Hey everyone, welcome back to From Poop to Gold. I'm Daniel Harmon, Chief Creative Officer at Harmon Brothers. My guest today is Arvell Craig. Welcome, Arvell.
Thank you. Welcome.
So Arvell, you are the founder of Chatbot Funnels, right?
Yes.
You run a consultancy essentially, right?
Yes.
Where you're coaching people on how to use chatbots in their marketing and be able to, I guess, convert casual viewers and stuff into active customers.
Yeah,
a little bit
exactly.
more.
Exactly.
Awesome. So give us a little bit of your background. What's your origin story here with this?
Gotcha. So in general, I like to say I've been in marketing, digital marketing for a while, 18, 19 years since I was like, 7. No. But no, I've been in it for a long time, right? And over the past years, we see technology changing. Sometimes we jump into it and we try it out. Like I did SEO for a while. I did Flash for all the old heads to know what Flash is.
Yeah, I did a little bit of that.
I've done all kind of different things. And I just learned to ebb and flow with whatever's happening, figuring out what's the best system or strategy to help my customers get what they wanted. So I started out actually as a designer, designing stuff, Photoshop, Quark, Photoshop, PageMaker, stuff like that. And then I was like, I love the design process, but I started making websites, but clients didn't really want to design. They wanted money. So I had to figure out, I didn't go to business school. So I say, okay, how do I make the money? Okay. So I learned about marketing and kind of shifted into there, began to write and SEO for a while. So anyway, long story short, about 3 years ago, actually at Inbound, I heard them talk about chatbots. Dharmesh, the co-founder of HubSpot, was talking about chatbots. Like, what is this thing? So I just left the conference looking into it, and I just began to play around with it. And I realized that this new type of technology, this new shiny object, might not just be a shiny object, but it might be changing the way communication is going to happen. And so, like, for the first time in my life, I just canceled and stopped everything else I was doing and kind of rebranded myself and began to focus exclusively on chatbots, because I really felt like, after all these years, I've kind of watched trends. I watched the social media trend. I watched the YouTube. We see things and I haven't really dove into it. Yeah. But now I decided to dive into it, 2-3 years ago. And that's kind of what got me to where I'm doing it now.
Oh, wow. So you were doing consulting and you had clients and all that before you did a head first jump into the chatbots.
Yes.
But then you said, okay, this is what I'm going to focus on. And like you said, ultimately your goal has been, I've got to find ways to make the customer more money. I've got to find ways to help them achieve their goals. You figured this is just another avenue for it, and it's been very successful, it sounds like.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
No, it's been good. Yeah.
Very cool. And you operate out of Phoenix,
yes.
Right? How many employees do you have?
Full-time, just me and about 3 contractors.
Okay, cool.
So we've got a small team and some partners that do other things. But, small shop, just me and my team that helps me out.
Okay, so for our audience, for those that aren't using chatbots, which I'm going to assume is quite a few.
Yeah.
Why should they care about chatbots? And can you kind of give a little bit of a dummy-proof description of what a chatbot does?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sure. So a chatbot is simply, I have this phrase as your website is already a bot, but it doesn't chat.
Okay.
Right. So the bot is just technology. The chat is it's humanizing conversation, and it's real-time interactive ways to interact with people while they consume content. Okay. So most people know about live chat. You go to a website, something pops up, and you can talk to a customer support person and get some questions answered.
Yep.
And so in general, anybody that's actually really interested in your business, and they're spending time on your website, and they come 1, 2, 3 times, they're spending 3, 4, 5 minutes. If you were actually there physically, if you could see the person, they would probably not be clicking on videos. They would turn to you and have a conversation. Yeah. They would do that, right? To me, that's what a chatbot is.
Try to replicate a real life situation with technology.
Exactly. But when it comes to live chat, a lot of companies we've talked to, they don't have 24/7 staff
Yeah.
that can do live. They may put it overseas, but overseas they're just following a script anyway.
Yeah.
So why would you have a script for someone in another country to talk to your customers when you could put that script into an online chatbot system that could at least handle 10, 20, 30% of the conversation before bringing it to a live person? That's kind of how way we do it. We want a company with their website to be able to talk to people as soon as they have an interest really fast. And then if they want to talk to a live person, if they're qualified, then we'll pass it on to a live person, a live rep. And normally that 2 to 5 minute time frame is enough to get a live person available to take over the conversation if necessary.
And hence the funneling aspect of it, right? You've got a bunch of people that are interacting with that automated portion of it up front. What percentage of them end up usually becoming, do you have any kind of rough percentages of how many of them go from making it far enough into the conversation with the automated process that they then jump over and are, interacting with a live person?
I mean, when it comes to percentages, again, we're either going to bring them to a live person, or we'll try to book a meeting immediately, or just get a lead. So there's 3 different types of conversions, I would say. And in general, when it comes to somebody on a website and then deciding to interact with the bot, that could be, say, 2 to 5% of people will respond. It really does depend on the page. Depends on the hook and why they're there. Like a home page, you don't know their intent. You don't know why they're there. But if they're on your pricing page, it's a little more clear. Or if they've come to your site 3 times, so therefore we program the bot to talk to them differently. So the more we understand their intent, the higher the percentage is going to be. So again, that could be 5 to 10%. We'll begin to have the conversation. And then from there, how many of those turn into a lead? That can be between 20 to 40%. Again, depending on the page, which is again the intent of the person on there.
What are your favorite tools to use for chatbots?
For B2B businesses, for websites that are just standalone websites, we are a Drift partner. Drift is a chatbot tool. So we're a certified partner with them. Clients that use Facebook ads and they run Facebook traffic and the social media side, we use ManyChat for that area. So right now,
that's what we use.
Those are our 2 choices depending on what the platform is and what traffic source they have.
So for B2B, use Drift. If it's B2C, then it's generally going to end up being some sort of a Facebook.
If it's, B2C, we can still use Drift depending on the value of the customer. Drift is a little more pricey than the average, $10, $20, $30 product. So just make sure to get an ROI. We want to make sure that, it's the right
difference between buying some candy and maybe buying a mattress or something like that. Okay. Very cool. All right. So this podcast is called From Poop to Gold. So we'd love to hear those stories of when you've had a crappy situation in your career or life. Could be either. And you've turned it into something positive, maybe even something great. What comes to mind for you, Arvell, when I say that? Your poop to gold moment.
Gotcha. I'd say the core poop situation for me was, and it wasn't like a moment, but it was a little bit of a season. Those have been.
That's fine.
And
a season's a moment too.
Gotcha.
Longer moment.
True. And that's where, I was doing SEO for a while, for like 5 years. I was doing SEO for a while, doing good. This is like 2009, 10, 11, 12. And eventually Google changed. And some of us know Google Penguin and Panda. Google always makes changes. But I was young. I was new in business. I didn't have real mentors. And when Google changed and a lot of my clients' rankings dropped
through the floor,
not only did I freak out about it, clients were upset. I was getting people were taking their money back. They were doing chargebacks on credit cards. I got a couple some legal issues, or they were trying to sue me, or just all kind of. And I didn't have the emotional, mental, psychological maturity to handle it. And in general, I eventually just quit. I eventually stopped doing business. I just rode the wave as it, downgraded, found a side contract, and kind of gave up doing business on my own for a couple of years. This is maybe 2 or 3 years. And it wasn't until, so that was just a season. It's like I changed what I thought was going to be important for business and my life. Let me just give my wife stability. Let me just be normal. Right. So a lot of us entrepreneurs are doing something because we don't feel normal. Right. And so there's that mindset that wants you to take challenges and have risks, and you kind of understand the pitfalls, but for whatever reason, I think I got lazy, to be honest with you. I was doing well. I was kind of coasting and I got lazy.
Yeah.
And then when that happened, I just didn't want to try anymore. I didn't want to challenge. I didn't want to risk anymore. And so I went like 2-3 years of just kind of having jobs, was kind of, it feels like failure. Most people think that's a good thing, but a job was
kind of on cruise control.
Exactly.
Well, there's no such thing as cruise control, right? It's a little bit of a downward slope sometimes if you're not constantly fighting uphill, right?
Yeah.
But
so that was just a season of a couple of years of no longer trying to be in business. It's kind of being normal. And it wasn't until, actually, it's funny, it was actually podcasts. For like a couple of years, I listened to a couple of different podcasts. And some reason, there was a season of a couple of years ago, certain people, like 2 or 3 different people I listened to, were all talking about how hard it was being an entrepreneur. They were all talking about entrepreneurs are firefighters, entrepreneurs are this, and I've seen other people's poop to gold stories.
Yeah.
And some reason, I don't know why, and it wasn't on purpose, but somehow those stories clicked in me. And I realized that my story wasn't unique.
yeah.
That I wasn't just immature, that I wasn't not cut out for business, that this was normal. I never knew that it was normal.
Yeah.
I had no perspective of that. And that simple shift helped me feel like I should try again. Like it's I just, all the shame and the guilt and the feeling bad about myself just shifted. And I was like, I'm still in my 30s, my life is not over. It's like, for some reason, when you quit, to me, you shut down and you just can't see, the future anymore. You're not looking, but somehow things shifted through a couple podcasts, I came to myself, and then I said, and I just kind of felt alive. I felt like I'm going to try again. It's like, so therefore my eyes were open, right? We know how people filter things with their perspective. You can kind of want to buy this car, and then you see the car everywhere, right? When you're in a negative funk, you see negative
funk everywhere.
You see funk everywhere. You smell funk everywhere. You
Yeah.
don't see opportunities. Even like, let's say chatbots can seem like a shiny object, seem like a cutesy little thing you can try if you're naive. So people say that about Twitter. People say that about Instagram. Oh, that little thing, YouTube. What is, it's all these things that depending on your perspective, you can see it in a negative way. You can be, cynical, and you don't see, some people, again, not just poop to gold, but some people can turn poop into gold. Mm-hmm. So the exact same thing, the exact same life, it just, my eyes kind of opened up. So then I was just in a better state. So that when, again, I was 3 years ago, I'm at a conference, I hear about chatbots, and I'm like, huh. And so I kind of take the plunge, but it was just that awakening season, happened, and my eyes are open. So that's kind of my core story of, say, the past 15 years, of 10 years of doing one thing, and then something shifted, and I was down for a couple of years, and now I feel like I'm back in the game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. What about that drives you? Like helping them get what they want? It sounds like you've got a little bit of a inner need to like just watch other people succeed to some degree, right? Or something like, I don't know. You see kind of where I'm going with this question?
Yeah. So I guess what I'm driven by, I do see my personal drive is definitely to see people grow or get unstuck. Most of my clients are small businesses. A lot of them are entrepreneurs. Got a construction company. I got various clients, but seeing them, it's almost like you can't just get moving. It's almost not just about getting the success, but when they're stuck, because I've done so many things, me being able to share, I feel like my gifts, my talents in a way that helps them to move forward. Kind of like what I'm saying, like if they can't see the opportunity, if I can because I do a lot, I start with chatbots, but I do a lot of things. So I guess you could call it solving problems and helping other people find fulfillment gives me a level of satisfaction, fulfillment, more than anything else.
That's awesome. Solving problems and helping other people.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So your creative process, you're an entrepreneur, obviously. You're a marketer. Like you've learned sales and all these different things.
Yeah.
What is kind of an ideal state for you to get ideas? What things do you do to make sure the ideas are flowing?
Interesting question. I am an idea person. So in one sense, I always have ideas.
Okay.
I do in one sense. I'm always playing podcasts. I'm always listening to books. I love to learn. And so there's a part of me that's always on.
Okay.
It's always listening and getting ideas.
Yeah.
Number one. However, when it comes to taking just an idea and kind of turning it into, something memorable, valuable, meaningful, that process, it's honestly, it's probably just being in a quiet environment. Again, if I'm actually going to put work together, so when I create a speech, if I actually want to perfect something or create something, I need to be by myself. I can either play some music, some EDM or something in the background, keeping me going, or it can be quiet. But my creative process is going to be just giving myself enough time in silence to kind of just ponder, to kind of throw ideas out and kind of just work through ideas. And it's honestly a slow process. When I'm really creative, it's going to be quiet, and I'm going to just be journaling and thinking through things, journaling, rehearsing, saying them over and over again, and kind of just work step by step through, whether it's email copy, chatbot copy, speech writing, or, presentations. It's kind of a slow, quiet, methodical process.
Yeah. Those quiet times are big for me. That's what I noticed. That's when the ideas kind of flow. So I notice a lot of my best stuff comes when I'm in the bathroom.
Okay.
and I think it's just a process of I'm hammering on something, but then I have a moment to take a break and my brain doesn't have to be thinking about that. And so it allows things to kind of get moving a little bit more. So networking for you, what are some of your, what's your approach to networking? Because obviously you have to do that a fair amount to develop a clientele. How do you approach your networking?
In general, I like to go to events where I'm more passionate about. So again, I do a lot of speaking. So when I want to meet people, I can either go to an event and socialize and stare at people's name badges and look them up and spy on them. Or ideally, my idea is like, I try to be the speaker. Yeah.
And then they come to you.
And then people come to me. That just changes the conversation.
That's my secret thing as well. Because I'm more introverted naturally. Okay. And I'm like, if they can come to me, I'm okay. If I have to go out and introduce myself, I'm like, not my favorite. But yeah, I like that approach a lot. Well, awesome. I appreciate your time very much, Arvell, for coming on from Poop to Gold. It's really cool to hear your story. And for those of you that are listening, get into chatbots. Yeah, like I said, we use them on our campaigns. They can be really effective ways of turning casual viewers or website visitors or whatever into actual customers.
Yeah.
And so it's something worth exploring. Where should our audience look you up?
You can go to my website, chatbotfunnels.me is the domain.
Yep.
And you can Google Arvell Craig as well. I've got a bunch of stuff for the past, stuff all around the web. If you just Google my name, you'll find a lot of content, written, video, audio, all kind of stuff. You can go to Amazon, find some books I've written, all this kind of different various stuff I've got out there on the interwebs.
Chatbotfunnels.me also will hit you with a chatbot as well.
Yes, it will.
Just in case you're wondering. For sure it will. Well, here, I've got a gift for you. Thanks for coming on. This is our book, From Poop to Gold.
Oh, thank you.
Which covers the creative processes, creative partnerships, and the creative culture of Harmon Brothers. So anyway, got that there for you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for listening and for watching. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast to catch more great stuff coming up. And we will see you on the next one.
As entrepreneurs and small businesses, we all kind of reach that point where we know we've created something awesome and we want to share it with the world, right? And it's that very next step that can oftentimes be really intimidating or really scary, or you just don't know where to go next, right? And the beautiful thing about this 14-day script challenge is you get your hand held from, okay, you have this cool product, now let's go research and find the exact way to present it and message it to the world in a way that resonates and gets people excited and they're ready to swipe their credit card and purchase. And in the 14-day script challenge, you get the opportunity to go through that step by step with our writers who have done it dozens and dozens of times.
You actually watch us go through each of the steps ourselves and create it with a real client, a real product, and it's a real campaign that's out there that's been very successful.
That's right. And the feedback that we've had on this thing has just been phenomenal. I mean, we get comment after comment and emails flowing in from people all over the world who have just raved about the impact that this has had on their business.
People tell us over and over again, it is just a huge value punch for the investment for this 14-day script challenge, and really gave them the tool set they needed to walk through it and make it happen.
And we've had dozens of students who have successfully taken the challenge, written their script, launched their ad campaigns, and driven success for their business. It's pretty amazing.
For more information, go to hbros.co/script.